What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today and welcome to a brand new track release today on MX Bike. So you're either going to be seeing this on Wednesday or Thursday. It all depends on which way I order my videos around. So this could be a day later than released, it could be the very next day. We'll have to wait and see. It all depends how the schedule unfolds. However, this track is created by Pelster. And when I first saw that it was created by him, I expected a bit of a free ride vibe to it, since the last track I played of his was Pelster's Playground, and I'm well aware that he's part of that big free ride crew with people like C Biggs and Panic Rev, etc., and Pepe. They are testers of this track, so it's going to be good quality. It's nice to see OG people, the community, like still quite heavily involved. It looks very, very pretty. And it is based off the real life track, DT1 MX Park. And what's really, really cool on this as well is not a collaboration as such, but he's reached out to them, and both DT1 Filters and Mika Metals have both given like their permission to use their name and their like property, I guess, in the game and sell it. So for one of the rare occasions, one of the tracks that we have on the shop is allowed to have real life logos and stuff attached to it. So really, really cool. I'm going to be riding the Suzuki 450 today. We're over there somewhere, I guess, in the pits. But yeah, without further ado, let's spin some laps and see what this is all about.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
Yeah, I can't lie, but I think I've gone a bit overkill with the with the bike of choice today. Oh god, please, do these fences have collisions? No, they don't. That's good stuff, right? Because when I was flying around, the track looked a little bit on the smaller side in terms of the scaling. So we'll see how she rides. But one thing that really enticed me into this when I saw it on the shop was just based off the preview pictures. It looks like the ruts that he's added into the corners are a little bit different to usual. Not these ones here, but there was one section of track, I think it was like a turning roller or a turning jump, where it was like lots of little skinny ruts, which we don't see much. Good chop. Really, really good chop. That's actually really nice. I love that. I want to see where these little ruts are as well. I'm interested to see how they ride, because it's always something that I want to see more of in this game, but the game has a really weird way of handling it. So I'm hoping that it rides really nicely. But the chop that went into that corner earlier, I tried doing a little bit of that myself. I'm getting a bit tongue twisted here on the track that I'm building. I just couldn't get it to look or feel right. It always felt like a little bit too rolled off, where if I tried making it sharper, the bike would just react really harshly to it. But that felt really, really nice. Might have to try and slide in the DMs at some point and see how he's done it. Obviously, I've got no idea what programs we used to build this. I'm not sure if it's a Photoshop track or if it's built in Blender or L3DT, for example. Absolutely no clue. So the methods might be completely different, but it's a very, very quick track so far. I'm absolutely zooming around, and so far the 450 doesn't feel like a burden. The jumps are smallish, but they're a little bit rounded off as well, so it's not like you end up over jumping them by miles. You just kind of scrub your speed off and stay super low, and it feels really quick, like really, really flowy. There's two tracks here as well. Obviously, having never seen or been to the real life equivalent of this track, I'm not sure if it's meant to be like a kids track, the second one, or if it's a vets track, etc. I know we don't really have vets tracks here in the UK at all. I know it's more of a US thing than anything else. If I ever do go to a track that has more than one, it usually is adults track, kids track, and that's kind of the differentiation. And when I say kids, I only mean like 65s and below. Usually the 85s go onto the big track with the adults as well, and it's all separated into its own individual groups. Sometimes it will be like beginner, intermediate, expert groups, and so on and so forth. Sometimes you have a really busy day and there'll be like 2 intermediate groups because everyone wants to put themselves in intermediates. You get some people that probably should be in beginners that go into intermediates to try and feel better. You get people that are expert speed that then drop down into intermediates to make themselves feel faster, if that makes sense. So yes, it's grouped a lot differently, I think, here than it is over there. I know a lot of you guys in the US, you'll just get kind of like free-for-all days where you go on and off the track whenever you please. It's very rarely a thing here unless it's a really, really quiet day. Reason being is our tracks just aren't as big as the tracks overseas, and it wouldn't be a rare occurrence for like smaller kids or bikes get landed on by the adults. Sometimes I've seen it happen. It's it's not a pretty sight at all, which is, yeah, why we have stuff grouped. The only time it can be a bit of a pain in the bum is if you have a really busy day and you've got like 5 groups, for example, you have maybe 15-minute or so sessions, and if there's injuries in other groups throughout the day and stuff gets delayed, and sometimes maybe you'll get 3 or 4 15-minute sessions throughout the day and that's it, and it's just like, I just want to ride my bike, you know, I just want to have some bike time. That's what I'm here for. It can be annoying sometimes, but yeah, it is what it is. Safety above everything else. Probably seems like a really weird thing to be so focused on, but I'm so impressed with this. This probably seems so minute to you guys that haven't tried doing tracks at all in the past, but there's something about the way these are built that is really, really good. I think my issue is, so this one roller here, they would all kind of be uniform, so they end up more like whoops, for example, where every single one is like a little bit different, and it all looks like really, it's handmade, but it looks natural, is what I'm trying to get across, and I think that's really, really cool. So I have to give a little bit of a round of applause there for Mr. Pelster. So where is this other track? It's going to be over here somewhere. All sorts of different objects dotted around these parts to make it will probably look like the real thing. It's even gone to the extent of adding, I'm pretty sure that's actual asphalt, like bike life material as well. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's this. I think this is, yeah, this is a different track. Okie dokie. So let's see what this one's all about. This gives me more vet track vibes, I would say. Let's brake nice and easy on the inside. I've been finding myself recently on the Suzuki, I'm not sure if I'm just having some bad MX Bikes days in terms of not playing very well, but the front end on this seems to be washing out on me a hell of a lot, and I don't know if I'm just being a little bit too aggressive, or if I am trying to push the bike past its limits. Maybe some of the other bikes have a slightly better front end than this one. I don't know, but I'm sure we'll iron out all of the flaws, or be able to make some setup changes to it as and when I ride it more. Unfortunately, we have got this Friday off. If nobody's in the Aerial Discord or you're out of the loop, this Friday is, I'm pretty sure it's been postponed as of Monday. It got postponed, I believe. Reason being is just to give a little bit of a safety net, really, so we're not rocking up on Friday in amongst stuff being DDoS or attacked, and kind of having to play it by ear. It's much nicer to have a solid, I guess, set in stone plan, if that makes sense. Which I'm alright for. It's nice because I was planning on going away to visit my girlfriend on the Saturday and Sunday, just over Valentine's weekend, and where it's a 4-hour drive each way, it makes like those 2 days kind of suck, if that makes sense, because I end up being like really, really tired because I get out first thing in the morning. But now we're not riding on the Friday, I can just head off anytime midday Friday and arrive there when she gets home from work, and it's much nicer for me, at least. It works to my schedule a lot better. I plan on taking the laptop away with me as a worst case scenario. I'm aware it's not really up to scratch compared to the usual video quality in terms of look and sound, etc. I'm not very computer literate, if I'm being honest. There's only so much I can do. I've copied all my settings over from this PC to that laptop, and worst case scenario, you might get one video like that. But I'm going to try my very, very best to get ahead of the curve and get a bunch of videos pre-done for you boys. So if you see me wearing the same, I guess, same fit for a few days in a row, you know exactly why. But yeah, game's a game. It's probably going to happen more and more recently in the coming months, just where I want to go and view some properties with her, looking to move in together. And it's moving a bit quicker than I expected. I think at the very start of this year, I believe I said that it'd be kind of at the back end of the year that we want to move out. But just in terms of when her current rent agreement is up, and I guess I'm kind of ready to go at any point. It's happening a lot quicker than I expected. And it's just trying to find a good place is the biggest issue. It's trying to find somewhere where you're not kind of emptying the bank account every single month just to rent the place, because you still want to be able to save some money to go towards buying a house afterwards. Finding somewhere that is close enough to her work, but is also close enough to like supermarkets and a gym, etc., at the same time as not being right on the doorstep of a school, because, you know, noisy kids all the time, and school traffic in the morning would be a pain in the bum. So there's a few different criteria to fit in there, but just thankfully the north of the UK, or north of England, I should say. I don't know about prices in Wales or Scotland at all. But yeah, north of England seems to be pretty damn good for like renting prices, at least compared to where I live now. We done a little bit of a search, and kind of like for 1,200 a month is you can get like a nice 2-bedroom place. It's not too bad. Around by me, you're looking at about 1,500 for a terrible 2-bed place, or like 1,000 for a 1-bedroom place, but you don't want to just be living on top of each other the whole time. And alternatively, we looked in London, because London's only like 30-minute drive from me maximum, and for a studio, so literally the size of my room really, so I've got a double bed there. They would try and fit in some kitchen stuff behind me, and then maybe you'd have through my door that's here, you'd have the bathroom, for example, and that's it. That's all the space you get. You're looking at about 2,000 a month, which is disgusting. And I was sitting there in a Discord call with her, just going, imagine you've had a particularly bad day at work. There's just nothing's gone right for you. You're really frustrated and you just want to get home. Maybe it's been an even worse day than usual. Maybe someone near and dear to you's had something happen, or maybe family members passed away, and you go home and you are just living in this tiny little box where you keep all of your possessions all on top of each other. It's got to be such a miserable existence. So honestly, I feel for you if you are renting or buying in the south of the UK, more so southeast around Londonish area. I just want to move, to be honest. Like, I don't want to be here when I have to do it myself, because, you know, times change, the economy's in the bin. I bet you didn't think you'd be getting this sort of a economy lesson on an MX Bikes video, but it triggers me. You know, there's no reason for house prices to be the way they are, and it makes it even more painful when you go and look at like the sale history of these properties, and stuff that's about 250,000 now was like 170,000 4 years ago, and like 20 years ago it was worth 70,000, and the inflation is just disgusting, man. And it's not surprising why people don't really buy anymore, unless you and your partner are both quite well off. You both got very good jobs. But yeah, to do stuff solo these days must be very, very difficult. So plan on renting for like a year or so, making sure we enjoy living with each other before we take the big dive into buying somewhere, and we'll play it from there. We'll see how things go. So economy lesson aside, I'm actually quite a big fan of this track. I think I've had maybe 2 crashes or so, something like that. Let's go back over to this main one. Yeah, I think I've only had about 2 crashes, and to be fair, I'm going the wrong way. That's to be fair. Am I going the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way. Spin around. Oh, I didn't even notice the tear-offs that he's put on the floor as well. Nice little details there. I wonder... No, they've got to be objects, surely, because obviously we've got 3D grass dotted around the track as well, unless those are models rather than grass. So I'm not too sure. I haven't looked into the whole tear-off route just yet. But a little update for my track now is, so it's been, I think, a week since I started working on it. Maybe a week and a day. Not 110% sure. I have literally sat in this chair for a minimum of 10 hours a day working on one track, which I'm not even convinced will end up looking amazing. But because I'm such a newbie to it, and I'm not that experienced, I'm not great in Photoshop, I'm very, very subpar with Blender and moving stuff about, it takes so much longer. And I did a poll in my Discord if people wanted me to release the tracks one at a time, as and when they're finished, so people can just play them whenever, or if they would rather the whole series be completed first and then I release them one per week, so people can't really grind them. And the second option is the one that went for it. The only issue with that is, if I'm looking to build 4 or 5 tracks, we're probably going to be looking at about 3 months or so, because there's no way I can keep up this work rate per track every single day. It's really, really bad. And I said, it's so weird how my brain works, that I can happily see it for 10 hours straight, just obsessing over a track that I'm building and not wanting to get off of it and working on it until 6 in the morning. But I can't have that same attitude when it comes to maybe like grinding out videos or going to the gym, etc. Like, I'm so flaky in that regard, which it really does annoy me, because I wish I was, I wish I could focus my energy in the correct places. I mean, I'm sure you guys will be happy with tracks when they release, but yeah, it'd be nice to focus on myself more than a damn video game. Jesus. But they're on their way. They're coming. I think my first track should be finished in the next 2, maybe 3 days. So probably just before I go away, and then I'll start work on track number 2, and we'll play it from there. So thank you very much, Elsa, for making this track for us. It's pretty damn enjoyable. It's hella flowy. I like the rough that you've put on it, and I like that nothing's too uniform. I like that there's got a bit of character to it, all individual stuff. And let me know, you guys down below, if you've ridden this track in person, has he done a good job? What would you change? What do you like? What do you dislike? And I think I'll love and leave you. I think I'll leave it all there. Really enjoyable, looks pretty, rides good. W in my books. So if you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain. Even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got